chillers, welcome back to my channel. So it is Wednesday, which means it is spooky day. So 2 weeks ago I started a little mini series called A Krampus Story, and today I am finishing up that mini series. It was a 2-part series. So let's jump right into the story. Alright. Krampus's arrival is usually tied to December 5th, the day before the Feast of St. Nicholas. It is said that this is when Krampus appears and stalks the streets and roads seeking out the bad children, and in some versions bad people in general. He would swat them with his switches and of course make use of that ragged old sack, in some versions a washtub, to kidnap the bad children and take them away, either to be eaten or worse, taken to the underworld as punishment for their misdeeds. Krampus and St. Nicholas were often inseparable. Christmas cards dating back to the 1800s show the pair, and Krampus was a regular part of Christmas, just as much as Santa is today. The image of Krampus in Europe was so prevalent that in 1934, after the Austrian Civil War, the traditions associated with Krampus and Krampus lore were legally outlawed by Dolphus regime and the Christian Social Party. This continued even until the 1950s, during which times pamphlets were passed out spouting the evils of Krampus, and it wasn't until the end of the 20th century that the laws were changed and a resurgence of interest and respect for the Krampus tradition began to burn again. The Krampuslauf is now an annual parade. I am so sorry if I butchered that. Is now an annual parade where participants dressed in elaborate homemade costumes of Krampus run down the streets, rattling their chains, swishing their swishes, often fueled by alcohol. I don't condone that. It is often customary to gift these Krampuses with schnapps of some kind, and though it is meant to be in good fun, there are times when the runs have gotten very rowdy, as since in the legend Krampus beats naughty children. Participants dressed as Krampus often do the same to the attendees of the parades and runs. That is terrible. A bunch of drunken people beating children with sticks, or bad people, depending on which lore you're following. It's terrible. Krampus is alive once again and doing well, judging by seeing his face on greeting cards, toys, candy bins, and even cute versions of him for kids. What? Krampus himself was not ever supposed to be evil, but rather a creature assigned to do the duty required of him by much more remembered Santa Claus. But still, one would be best not to get on Krampus's bad sides and behave for goodness sake. I guess that's a knock to that Christmas song, Be Good for Goodness Sake. I can't remember what song it is though. What is even more terrifying is that Krampus is hardly alone in his duties to punish the wicked come Christmas time. There is the legend of Frau Perkta, another Germanic wild spirit that appears during the holidays to punish bad boys and girls during the 12 days of Christmas by tearing out their insides and replacing them with garbage. That's creepy. Then comes the Icelandic, I'm so gonna butcher this, Jólakaturin, the Yule Cat. The cat is supposed to come and get naughty boys and girls who do not finish all their chores by the coming of Yule. Those who finish their chores are gifted with new clothes, while those that do not are given nothing, and the Yule Cat will come in the night, scratching at their door and coming from up under the icy floors to eat those who receive nothing for being lazy. From France comes Hans Trapp, a man who's said to actually exist at one point in history. Trapp was a horrid human being, a crazy Satan worshipper who butchered and killed children until he was struck by lightning, and is now forced forever to visit children on Christmas, dressed as a scarecrow, to remind them to be good, or else. What is with these cultures and freaking out kids? There are many more spirits and creatures said to come out at Christmas, both to reward and to punish, but my favorite besides Krampus is the werewolf. Oh my god. Rising from the depths of Romania's pagan past is the man-beast that takes the form of a wolf, a curse that never ends haunting the poor damned soul, and every full moon, but Christmas time especially, in Romania and Moldova, I'm guessing that's what that says. A 40-day feast is held, carols are sung by traveling children, and special foods are prepared. The practice of caroling, kolindi, something, I guess it's a Romanian word, I'm not sure, is in Romania is corresponded to dressing up as animals, demons, and spirits, and any child that is conceived on or before or born upon Christmas Eve will be cursed to become a beast. The carolers serve to remind those who would not abstain from sexual activity on Christmas Eve that there is a price to be paid in blood for those who break the rules of Christmas. Do these monsters really exist? Of course they do, in our stories, the same as Santa does in our minds and myths, and that does not make them any less real. What it does do, this knowledge you now have, just in time for Christmas, is to remind you that our holidays are often so commercialized and watered down that we forget the true legends and folklore that inspire them to become the staples of our culture today. Did you hear that? Yes, that sound. It sounds like hooves on the rooftop and bells. Where you used to think of old jolly old St. Nicholas coming down your chimney, just remember, he's not coming alone. Happy holidays, everyone. And that ends the story of Krampus and other Christmassy stories. I know it was supposed to be about Krampus, but it kind of delved into other things. But I hope you enjoyed this little mini-series. If you did, please give me a thumbs up so I know. Please follow all my social medias down below in the description. You can click my bubble to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys on Monday. Peace out, chillers.